game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks. On the return, it's McKenzie. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. On second down, it's Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Jameis to throw it. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 13. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. It's a big play there for Seattle, and even 60 yards. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. To throw is Wilson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Finding some room at midfield. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. They'll try to throw now. Winston forced out to his left. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Let's go now.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Winston. Fighting it, and Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Spot left.
On 2nd down, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Wilson, and he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the 1st down and change our momentum?
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Winston. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be fourth down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 11. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Now Bernard. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On third down, Wilson. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. Earlier in the quarter, when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play, because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now a second down throw for Winston. He gets it to Humphries. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Winston and Humphries connecting there for a Tampa Bay first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll pitch it out to Jones. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be third down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Bucs on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Winston now. falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a carry for Bernard. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. Do you see how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
After the loss, here's 2nd and 12 from the 18. 2nd down, Winston. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Winston. He finds Humphreys. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Off the play fake, Winston. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Barkevious Mingo in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception. Here's Bernard. And he'll wind up
up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On second down, here's Wilson. And he checks this one down to Williams. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Noah Spence with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Frank Clark in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Winston. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
3rd and long for Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And got his man complete. And all the way to the opposite 45. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first down throw for Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing, Winston. Now he'll escape to his left. Going to throw deep for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So they boot it through, and now we're all square after 2 quarters of play.
And what's that great term you taught me? They're level, right? They got back to level. Now they get to go back in the locker room, regroup, and start over in the 2nd half.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. 2nd half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again here, Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw, Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Winston. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Ready. Blue lady. Watch me bounce that.
On 3rd down, Winston. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Nazir Jones. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Returnable for Lockett. Oh, spinning away. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel
accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Barkevius Mingo in that time on the tackle. Jameis to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. Winston now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Ready. Black 22. Watch his back, man.
From the gun, Winston. He's got Evans. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
They're going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
20! And he finds Howard complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
550, 550. Ready. Blue 80.
Now Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Still going 4 down, 4 down.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And down he goes. A Buccaneers sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And down he'll go at the 25. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Over the middle, and and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. They could get it done, but guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a third down. Here's Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Emerson Griffin able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 7. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Ready, black 25. Sonic.
To throw is Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They come out here in the I. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down. See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Winston. Evans has it left side. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. A first down throw for Winston. And Winston lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run it here with Bernard. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now a first carry for their fullback. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy. They didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Check 50, check 50.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They'll run again with Bernard. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Penny A first down carry. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Hey. 4 down.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins.